Welcome to Connections. I'm your host, April Healy, and I'm sitting with my good friend, Mary Marcengill. She's a second-year staff member and a worship team staff member. Hi, Mary. Welcome.
Hello.
I'm so glad you're back with us. I love you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad to be back.
I'm so happy. Can you talk to us about waiting for your husband and just the story behind your sisters getting married young and how you had to wait?
Yes. Growing up, I actually never really dated. I dated one guy in like senior year of high school. It was just on a whim kind of thing. So never really had a serious relationship growing up. So I, through that, just was like, oh wow, okay, Lord, well, I just feel like I want to use this time to just find out like what is it like to be in a relationship. And so just really went after pursuing him as that kind of like filling that place in me. So as I was just like living life and just kind of talking with him about, what does it look like to be part of a relationship, and what does it look like to be a wife and a good wife, and how do I prepare for that? And so just had some really sweet times with the Lord, and just going to the park with him, like that was kind of like my date time with him. My sisters all had gotten married by 21. And so when I turned 22, my dad is asking, oh, well, Mary, when are you going to get married? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like I haven't even met anyone yet. And also just kind of feeling like, yeah, am I behind? Oh my goodness. Like all my sisters have been married by now. Almost feeling like, okay, Lord, well, I guess you're using my story's different, and that's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I feel like through that process, I just really focused on, okay, well, I'm just going to focus on my relationship with you and growing that, so that when he does come, that I feel like I have that space filled.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And he told you that he was going to prep you to be a wife. Is that right?
Yeah. I felt like when I asked him that, I felt like he said yes. I felt a yes from him. And the cool thing that the Lord did, I felt like he was always wooing me. Like I would just randomly see something that looked like a heart, like a rock or a leaf, or like one time it was like crazy, like the pickles in my Chick-fil-A sandwich, my Chick-fil-A chicken, everything looked like a heart. I'd have students just randomly bring me flowers. And never had really had this happen before. It almost like it was accelerated.
Yeah.
So I felt like he was showing me like, this is a part of what it looks like to be a wife, is like someone, you get these little gifts, and it's amazing.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, can you tell us about yours and Josh's, story, your beautiful love story?
Yes, I'd love to. So we met at a church. It was really small. One of our mutual friends had said that she thought we should go on or just meet. And I was kind of like, no, like, I don't want to just go and meet someone. I'd gone on a blind date before and it was awful. And so I was like, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
We ended up meeting though, just through natural, life, which is what I wanted. I kept telling the Lord, like, I just want to meet my husband through what I'm doing. And I'm not having to like, search out for him. I had some students that I was teaching, and we were working on some choreography, and one of my students said, well, can we do this dance at my church? I was like, sure, yeah, let's do it. So it was a church that he went to and led worship at. And so we go there, and I keep thinking, like, why am I recognizing the name of this church? And then, like, I think it was like the week we were supposed to go there, I remembered that it was, oh, wow, this is the guy that my friend had said I should meet.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And I was like, oh, wow, okay, so here we are. And it was really crazy. Like, I feel like, some people have said this before, but I never really thought that was a thing. Like, oh, I saw him and I knew he was my husband. I'm like, I don't really know. But oh my gosh, like, I just knew, like, I saw him, and it was almost like the Holy Spirit gave it away. Like, I felt like the Holy Spirit jumped inside of me, and I just sensed, like, I think my husband, like, wow. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. And like even just through things that happened that day, the Lord was just giving confirmations, and just like even seeing his heart, how he worshiped, and I could tell he had a relationship with the Lord. Like he had an intimate relationship with God, that he was his one love. And so that to me was just beautiful, and I was just so in awe of it. I was like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? He's amazing.
Wow.
So
what happened after that? Did he pursue you? Did you pursue him?
So Josh, really shy. So we didn't talk for a few months after that. But then we met up to talk about something to do with dance and worship, and ended up having like a 2-hour coffee date where we just told our whole life stories to each other pretty much. And then after that, was just hanging out some, and we were actually 8 years apart. So he's 8 years older than I am. And so I think he was a little nervous to ask me to go out, because he was just like, wow, like she's 8 years younger. I don't want to like push her into doing anything that she doesn't want to. So there was one night I just remember I was like, so what is this? Like, are we just friends, or is this something more? And he's like, well, would you want it to be something more? I'm like, yeah, I would. So, so from there, then we had, I think it was maybe a month later or 2 months later, we got engaged.
Oh my God.
And then 7 months later, got married.
Wow. Wow. 2 months later, engaged.
Yeah.
That was fast.
It was very fast. I guess for me, it was one of those things where I knew, like, when I meet him, I just want to get married.
Yeah.
Like,
and you knew.
Yeah. I didn't want to wait. I was just really ready, like, to be married and to be a wife.
That's awesome. That's a beautiful love story.
Thank
I love that.
you.
Wow. So I know Josh loves to worship, and you love worship. And so what do you feel like the Lord is doing in that area of your guys' life together? And what do you feel like he's saying or birthing out of that for you guys?
Totally. Yeah, worship is just a huge part of our lives. We love doing worship together. We actually just did worship with the youth last night, and it was so much fun. And, it's just always so beautiful to be able to encounter the Lord. And then through that, you're like, oh, wow. And then, like, you're leading others into encounters with the Lord.
Yeah.
I just love what it does. Like, it's just it's a beautiful place to just be, oh, wow, like, I'm loving what I'm doing. And then through this, people are being able to be touched by the Father. And I think, like, as far as ever since we've come to Bethel, I've just totally noticed an increase of just feeling this, like, oh, wow, this is so peaceful and so natural. It doesn't feel like a struggle, or it doesn't feel like something I'm having to push into. I just feel like it's an easy way, but, like, not easy in a, oh, this is just easy, but easy in, like, oh, this just feels so good. Like, just being able to pour out my heart and my love and my affection on the Father. Wow. Through worship and just through my voice. And it's always amazing, because I never really saw myself leading worship. Like, growing up, I never was like, oh, I want to be a worship leader someday. But I do remember, like, making up songs in the car and just singing out, looking out the window. As kids, like, they're always making up songs in the car.
Right.
I just remember, like, singing out of the car, and, like, I think even, like, maybe some love songs to Jesus, or just about life or whatever. And so it's just cool how, like, the Lord, he's even preparing you as a young person. Like, he's like, I see this in you, and this is a gift I'm giving you, and I want you to to be a part of your life. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like you're focusing on or pursuing in your life in these days?
Oh, yeah. I guess just, teaching dance. I don't know if we talked about that yet. If I danced my whole life, and then I started teaching when I was 15. So right now, just focusing on, building in that area of how can I go further?
Yeah.
How can I continue to challenge myself as a teacher, and challenge my students? And then also the dance studio I teach at, I work in the office as well. And so, just wanting to make that place a place that's really peaceful and easy, and people can feel like they can come in and feel like they're in a family.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I just am wanting to bring to that place. for school, being on second year staff. I mean, it's just an amazing experience, an amazing opportunity, and feeling so honored to just run with all these champions. I mean, oh my gosh, like I just look to my right and to my left, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like how am I here? And this is amazing, and these people are cream of the crop, and it's just so much fun, like so much fun. So I think just through all of those, like through where I teach, where I work, where I second year staff, just building those relationships and really just being able to feel like I'm focusing in on, okay, what's happening here, and what part can I play, and how can I help excel these areas. So.
Wow. Thanks, Mary. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love hearing all your stories. I love the beauty of Jesus through the middle of all your stories. It's just gorgeous, and it's honestly beautiful to hear. So thanks for joining us. I loved having you.
Oh, thank you.
And you guys, thanks so much for joining us as well. And I loved having you. And come back next time.